How you guys doing? And I ran into something really interesting here today. I'm here at the SCE booth and a little head gasket education for us here, especially for you guys. You know, the LS, I know a lot of you guys are in that, but the B&W guys are going to love the information I got to share with you guys because it's a struggle. I know me, holding big boosts on a big motor, he's trying to break those records is not easy, and you've seen a lot of our DIY how to do it on the blocks and time certs and head studs and all that, and M54 Racing Channel as well, and Kassan too as well. So I have Aaron here with me, and we're going to talk about head gaskets and what's available here in the United States as well too. So Aaron, I thank you for your time today.
Sure.
And kind of help educate us maybe a little bit. Now I saw that you guys have like the multi-layer head gaskets.
Yeah, this is our line of MLS Spartan head gaskets. So it's a comprehensive line of MLS gaskets. However, we do things slightly different. A lot of technology goes into the manufacturing of our embossing tools so that the radius of the embossments is such that the gasket maintains its integrity after multiple heat cycles or a retorque. We've heard of a number of issues with our competitors' gaskets with a crack on this inner edge. That doesn't happen. With our gaskets, we also include a proprietary polymer coating on the inner and outer plates, so there's no need to add any extra sealant to these gaskets. They will seal, and they'll seal a much rougher surface finish, maybe even up to a 50 RA.
Okay. I know a lot of us, you know, what we do is we take the stock gaskets, we put copper spray on them, you know, we're trying to do that, and I see this is nice to know that you actually don't have to do that with yours.
Correct. And we've seen a trend lately where guys are actually doing an O-ring like we would with a copper head gasket, but they're reversing it. They're doing a copper O-ring on an MLS gasket. Big question I have is, what is that doing to the cylinder head? What kind of distortion is that throwing into your valve seats and all of that stuff? Not really ideal. So I would point you to our Valcon cut ring over here.
Okay.
Here we've got an N54 composite gasket body with free-floating stainless rings. Let's get a little closer on this. Here's a Coyote. There you go. So this gasket body seals up all of your water, your oil, for years to come. I could absolutely run this gasket on an NA rebuild, no problem. But if I know that I'm going to be hitting this thing with maybe some nitrous or definitely some boost down the road, this is my gasket I'm going to pay the extra money for to do it now when I have the head off, so that when I do put the boost to it, I know that the head gasket isn't a question. We've seen that with these stainless steel rings, you've got 3 micro ridges on the top that bite into the head, flat on the bottom. There's no machining required, flat deck surfaces. So that makes this gasket super easy to install. We've had some guys install it in the car, a little iffy. It's best to do it on an engine stand, but these gaskets seal much higher horsepower limits than the MLS gasket. Very easy to work with no machining required.
I had a question for you too, if you don't mind interjecting real quick.
Sure.
What kind of boost levels are you recommending on MLS versus taking this to the next step?
So it's hard to say boost levels for an MLS gasket. Every engine architecture is different. If we talk about a 10 bolt per cylinder, just like these BMWs, talk about an LS. Well, 10 bolt LS, you're going to get into the 20s, the low 20s, before you start running into gasket issues. With the Valcon cut ring, you can easily get into the 30 PSI range.
Okay.
With the BMW, it's different per the engine architecture. We hear of guys getting really good boost levels on different motors than others. It all depends on how solid the block and the head are. Okay. So we're always fighting those things. So from our Valcon cut ring to your more race-oriented, we've got our copper gaskets. The traditional copper gaskets behind me, where you're going to put an O-ring in your cylinder head or in your block, receiver groove in the opposite deck, do a light spray of copper coat. Yeah, check it out. Yep. Doesn't matter. I just RTV'd it. It helped a bit. So we're doing. So this is for your classic 426 fuel Hemi, lone alcohol Hemi, but the concept is still the same. So we've got premium C110 copper, pure copper, annealed to what we've learned over 30 years is the right hardness. That way it'll properly conform to the O-ring. Common misconception actually is a lot of guys think the O-ring crushes the copper. Copper's solid, it's flowing. So we want to push the O-ring into the copper and push the copper up into a receiver groove in the opposite deck. That's still the preferred seal for your highest boost, your top fuel motor per se. So this is going to be the gasket for that. But here at SCE Gaskets, we've got you covered from the MLS Spartan to the Vulcan cut ring, all the way to the copper. Whatever you're building, we've got it for you.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.